Hello from Shrix and hello from SmartHerd. What's up? In this video, we are going to talk about the array list in Java. Now, in our previous tutorials, we already know what is an array in Java. So if you have not watched that video, please check it out from the playlist. And then again come back to this video. So the array list in short is actually the dynamic array, or you can say the more advanced form of array. So here inside the IntelliJ IDE, I have simply defined the string array in front of you. So this is a string array, str array equal to India, USA and China, right? And India is having the index of 0, 1 and 2 respectively for USA and China. Now, in case of array, we already know once we have defined the size of the array, then we cannot change it later. That is, later on we cannot define the third element, that is str3 equal to, let's say, North Korea. So this is not allowed. So if you are going to run your application, then your application will probably crash because there is no third index defined here. But in case of array, you can perform the replace operation by using, let's say, replace USA by North Korea and then print out the value, right? So here I will use for each loop to print out the value. So here in the output we get India, North Korea and China. So the USA has been replaced by North Korea. But now in Java we have one more concept of dynamic array, that is the array list in Java. So let us come to that. So how do we define the array list in Java? Now the array list in Java is nothing more than an object. So we can treat the array list in Java as an object. So here to create any object we can simply use the new keyword new array list. So this will simply create a new object in the heap memory in Java. Now, in order to access this object, we need to create a reference variable, as we all know from the previous videos of object-oriented programming, right? So here, let's use array list and then give it a space, let's say list equal to new array list. Now here, this array list actually expects you to define the type of what kind of data that this array list can contain. So here, as an identifier, you have to simply pass string. Let's assume list of string, right? So this is the syntax to initialize a array list object of the type of string. So this list will only contain the strings. So now what we can do is to get the same content as we have defined here, we need to simply use list.add and simply pass the first parameter as India and then list.add again and then again pass USA. And the third element, let's add it as China. So now, but here we have three elements similar to what we have done here. So what is the difference? Now the difference between the string array and the array list of string is that you can add further country's name such as North Korea. And now to print the values in case of array list, we again need to use the for each loop. So for each loop for the string s inside the array list of strings, right? And then print the value of the string. So let us now run our code. So here in the output, the last four element is the content of the array list and the first three element is the content of the array defined here. So now we can notice in case of array list, it is actually a dynamic array where you can add element and by default the element will be added at the end. And now suppose if I add the element at the 0th index or let's say first index, then let's see what happens. So here we can see in the output, we have simply added the North Korea at the first index, that is right after the India. So the USA element has been pushed to the right. That is the USA is now having the second index and the China has been pushed to the last. And now comes the most important part of this video tutorial, that is, what are the data types that this array list can contain? Now in case of array, we can define the integer array like this and the floating point values like this. And similarly we can define the double array and also the long array. So we are all familiar with this, right? That is, the arrays are actually the primitive type of data. That is, the integer is actually the primitive type and the floating is also the primitive type of data. Now the array list on the other hand does not contain the primitive type of data. Now what I'm trying to say is, let us take an example. So here instead of this string you cannot type int here. Now instead of int you cannot type a float here, and similar is the case of double and also long. It will simply show some error. The type argument cannot be of primitive type, right? Now this is simply because this array list can contain only the class objects, not the primitive type of data. So here if you want to insert the integer values, so what you can do, you can simply use the capital integer. Now this integer is nothing but a simple integer value, but this is of the type of class, not the primitive type of data. So this integer, if you hover over it, it is the class integer that extends the number object, right? So this integer is actually the wrapper over this primitive type of data. And similarly for the float, we have capital F, L, O, A, T, fine. And similarly we have capital D, O, U, B, L, E, double. And similarly we have the long. So instead of small long, you have to simply remember that you can use capital Long, and then you are good to go. And now let us proceed a step ahead and let us try to perform some operation on the array list. So here this is the list reference variable pointing to our new array list object, right? And this object contains three values at the index of 0 India, index of 1 USA, and index of 2 as China. You can add as many elements you want to, but as of now this much is okay. So as soon as these lines of codes are executed, this is the output. Here at this point of time the array list contains only India, and here at this point of time the array list contains India and USA, and at last we have China added at the second index. And now let us perform some operation. Let us add list.add another element, suppose let's say at the 0th index, and suppose here if I want to add Nepal, let's add Nepal at the 0th index and then print the elements. So here we have Nepal added at the 0th index and rest of the elements has been pushed towards the right. Fine. So at the end we have our list content as Nepal, India, USA and China. And now let us experiment more. Let us say list dot get the element at suppose let's say first index. And now let us print this value by using sout list dot get the element at the first index. So it will simply return India as the output. So here we get India as the output in front of you. Fine. And now proceeding forward, suppose you want to remove an object. So for that you can simply use list dot remove and simply supply the index. Let's say I want to remove the object at the 0th index, right? And now let us get the output. So in the output we are only left with the India, USA and China. That is Nepal has been removed. Fine. And now you can also check other methods such as list dot let's say contains. Now this contains method simply returns a boolean variable. So here you can simply check if the list contains India as the element or not. So this will simply return a boolean value, right? And at last you can also check, you can also use the method of clear. Now this clear method, what it do, it simply deletes all the entry from the list. That is in the output, if we are going to run this code, then we won't get any output because the content of the list has been deleted with the help of this clear method, right? So let us now run our code. So in the output, we don't have anything printed because we have already deleted all the list content at the end. So this was all about the array list in Java. It is pretty simple and it is totally similar to what we saw in case of array. The only difference is that the array list is dynamic in nature and it only accepts the object class. And now apart from string, integer, boolean, etc., we can also define our own custom class. Let's say class of rectangle. So here this class contains the floating point variable of length and breadth, right? So we can also store the objects of these classes inside the array list. So here let us remove all this code. And here what we can do, we can simply create rectangle R1 and similarly rectangle R2. And now we can simply add the R1 and R2 inside this list. But before that we have to change this string to rectangle. And then we can simply use list.add, simply insert R1. And similarly list.add, simply insert R2. Fine. So in this way you can use the array list to store any kind of class objects, any type. May it be the string, boolean, rectangle, employee, student, etc. So this was all about this video. Thanks for watching, and please do like and share the video, and please comment below this video. Thank you and have a good day.